Time is up. The correct answer is the Netherlands. You banked £400 out of a possible 1,000. But who, quite obviously, is the runt of the litter? Who's the in-law that's even more of a nuisance than you first imagined? Who's the drain on the family fortunes? One of you is about to leave with nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
The only player who failed to answer a single question correctly was Sarah, making her the first weakest link of the game. The strongest link statistically is Alison. But who will be the first to do the walk of shame?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
Lucy.
Sarah.
Sarah.
Peter.
Peter.
Jeremy. Sarah.
Peter.
Richard.
We have a tie team. Peter and Sarah, 3 votes each. Peter, how did that first round go for you?
I thought I got them all right, to be honest with you.
How long have you been divorced?
I've forgotten. 17 years, something like that.
Do you get on with your ex-wife?
Very well indeed.
What do you do?
Not a lot. I'm retired.
From what?
I used to run around the countryside looking after petrol stations.
Is that all you did, running around the countryside?
The odd game of golf when nobody was watching.
Anything else when no one was watching?
We don't talk about that.
Why Sarah?
She wasn't exactly the biggest failure, but I just felt that she was probably the weakest link on this occasion.
Why didn't you vote for the biggest failure?
I couldn't remember precisely who it was.
Oh, your memory's not very good then.
Gone them as soon as I retired then.
Lucy, what do you do?
I'm an aerospace engineer.
You seem to be a bit better qualified than anyone else here.
Well, I don't know about qualified, but I hope I can hold my own.
Now, you're here because your sister is married to a member of this family.
I am indeed.
What do you think of the family?
They're very nice.
Any dodgy ones?
There's always dodgy members of families.
Are there any of the dodgy members standing around here?
Yes.
Why Sarah?
I remember getting, I believe, 2 questions wrong, and it just stuck in my mind.
Richard, you're a retired banker.
You got it?
So presumably you're worth millions of pounds.
I have to confess, haven't reached your league yet, Anne.
Oh, well, why did you retire then?
Well, it sounds better than saying I was fired, doesn't it?
What do you do now?
I'm studying.
Anything in particular you're studying?
I am studying to fly a light aircraft, Anne.
Are you? And then what will you do, Richard?
I will take people around the country who have sufficient funds to avail themselves of my facilities.
Oh, right. Will you be talking in that quaint way when you invite them onto your plane?
I'll leave you a card later.
And you think that models walk up and down a circus, do you?
Well, I find the whole fashion industry a disgrace to womanhood, and that's the only word I could think to describe it.
I see. Did you think it was helpful for points for the team?
No, not at all.
Why have you fallen out with your father?
I've known him 37 years. I'm voting on the basis of 37 years.
And you think he was the weakest link?
No, I don't.
Just in the last 37 years he's been the weakest link.
Pretty much.
So you don't like your dad, you're not a team player, is that correct?
Well, you haven't mentioned my sister yet.
Jeremy, you're the boyfriend of the daughter.
That's what I am, yes.
You had some fun moments with this family?
I certainly have, yes.
Have you? Frightening moments with this family?
Frightening at times, yeah.
Yeah? Who frightens you in this family?
Alison, my girlfriend.
Does she?
She's the most frightening.
What's their worst fault, Jeremy?
I think that they always think they're right.
Do they?
And don't often listen to what other people have got to say. So.
How irritating. You've voted for Peter. That's a very interesting choice. What caused that, Jeremy?
I think at the moment Peter's got more hair than I have, so therefore I'm a bit jealous about Peter's hair.
When the vote is tied, the strongest link has to cast the deciding vote. The strongest link in the first round was Alison. Alison, why have you voted for your cousin?
It's a tough choice, but first round nerves, bad questions.
So, You voted for Sarah, but you now have a choice. You can get rid of your father, or you can stay with your cousin.
I'll listen to the older brother. I'll go with Peter.
That's interesting. Peter! You are very, very popular. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
For my son and daughter to behave in such a despicable way after the years I brought them up and looked after them, when I was the only one on the whole 9, I think, who answered all 4 questions correctly, I'm absolutely disgusted. What Richard and Alison said was an absolute load of waffle. All they were madly jealous that their father was going to outthink them and outsmart them, so they got rid of me at the earliest opportunity. The fact that Alison changed her mind and voted me off instead of Sarah, absolute scatterbrain. I'm really quite hurt about it, but I shall deal with that later on. I have a very, very short fuse, and it's been lit this afternoon.